The clock above the stove glowed at 9:17 p.m. when I heard Lila's key turn in the front door. She wasn't due back from her work trip until Thursday, but here it was, Tuesday evening. I was perched at our marble kitchen island, my coffee long gone cold, staring at the entryway like a hawk eyeing its mark. 3 months of nagging doubts had built up to this moment. Late-night meetings, client dinners, weekend seminars that never quite added up. Her boots tapped against the oak floors I'd laid down myself when we bought this place 5 years back. Back when I thought we were crafting a life together. "Jack," her voice came, dripping with that syrupy tone she used when she was hiding something. "Why are you still up?" She stepped into the kitchen, still in the navy dress I'd gotten her for our last anniversary. Her lipstick was smudged, her hair a mess despite a quick fix in the car. "Couldn't catch any sleep," I said, staying put on my stool. "A weird thing happened today." Lila paused, her bag halfway to the counter. "What's that supposed to mean?" "Got a call from the Hilton in Denver," I said. "They found your necklace in room 308, the same one you swore you lost at the yoga studio last week." Her face went pale. "I can explain," she stammered. "Bet you can," I shot back. "Just like you explained why your phone was pinging from downtown when you said you were in Denver, or why our credit card got hit with charges at Luigi's. That little Italian joint on Cedar Avenue where we had our first date." She set her bag down, hands trembling. "Jack, just hear me out." "No, you hear me," I said, standing up. She flinched, stepping back. "I know about Tyler." Her jaw dropped, then snapped shut, no words coming out. "Tyler Kent, from your office. Mid-30s, rolls around in a black Audi, thinks he's the king of the corporate world." I pulled out my phone, scrolling through images. "Nice fella. Maybe we should have him over for a barbecue sometime." "How'd you—" She cut herself off. "Find out? Simple. You left your laptop open last night. 14 missed calls from TK. Work urgent. Same number texting you at midnight for 3 months straight." I placed the phone on the counter. "The worst part, Lila? I actually felt bad for snooping." She straightened up and I saw her shift gears. The panicked wife vanished, replaced by the icy exec she'd morphed into over the last 2 years. "So what's your plan, Jack? Gonna throw a fit? Smash some plates like your dad used to?" That was her usual jab, comparing me to my old man to cut deep. Tonight, it just made me grin. "No fits. I'm not him." I walked to the safe tucked behind our engagement photo. "Poetic, huh? Did some tidying up while you were gone, though." Her face turned ghost white as I pulled out her laptop and phone. "Give those back," she demanded. "Sure thing," I said, setting them on the island. "But first, answer one question straight. How long's this been going on?" She crossed her arms. "It's not what you think." "Really? 'Cause I think you've been sleeping with your coworker for at least 6 months, using our joint account for hotel stays, and lying to me every damn day." I flipped open her laptop. "Want to see your search history?" She lunged for it, but I was quicker. Carpentry keeps you sharp. "Don't touch it," she snapped. "Why? Scared I'll find something juicy, like this folder labeled private files?" I turned the screen her way, showing video thumbnails. Dozens of them. Different hotels, different dates, some with Tyler, others with guys I didn't know. "Good Lord, Lila, how many?" Tears started, real ones this time. Not the fake sobs she'd mastered for fights about my late shifts or muddy work boots in her perfect house. It's not like that," she choked out. "Then what's it like? Help me get how my wife of 7 years turned into a stranger." She swiped at her nose, smearing mascara. "You gave up, Jack. We stopped talking. We're just roommates now." "So you decided to play escort instead?" Her hand flew up, but I caught her wrist before it landed. "Don't you dare touch me," I said, low and steady. "I want a divorce." "Fine," she spat. "We're on the same page for once." I let go of her wrist. "But we're doing this my way." "What's that supposed to mean?" I shut the laptop and picked up my mug. "You'll see tomorrow. For now, pack a bag." "This is my house, too," she snapped. "Was," I corrected, pulling a folded paper from my pocket. "Restraining order. Judge signed it this afternoon. You've got 1 hour to grab your essentials and find somewhere else to crash." "You can't do this," she said, voice shaking. "Actually, I can. Turns out video proof of cheating plus financial betrayal carries weight in Colorado." I smirked. "You remember Greg Larson? He's not just my lawyer now. He was yours too, until he dropped you for conflict of interest." Lila stared like I'd sprouted horns. "Who even are you?" "I'm the guy who spent 5 years thinking he wasn't enough for his wife. Turns out I was too good." She grabbed her phone, started dialing. "Mindy won't pick up," I said. "Neither will Kara. Funny how best friends clam up when you ask if they knew their pal was stepping out. Her phone slipped, hitting the tile with a clatter. Pack your bag, Lila. Time's running out. She stood frozen for half a minute, then trudged upstairs. I heard her rummaging in our bedroom. Her bedroom now, I suppose, stuffing things into a suitcase. When she came down, she looked smaller, broken. Where am I supposed to go? Tyler's place seems fitting, I said. He's expecting you. Her eyes widened. You talked to him? Had a real enlightening chat this afternoon. Turns out he's not as invested as you thought. Said something about not wanting to deal with messy divorces and unhinged wives. His words, not mine. You're lying, she whispered. I pulled out my phone and hit play on a recording. Look, Jack, I didn't mean for it to get this messy. Lila said you two were basically done already. Really? 'Cause she told me you were planning to shack up together. What? Nah, man, this was just a fling. I'm not trying to play house with someone else's wife. I stopped the audio. Want more? Her suitcase hit the floor. You jerk. I prefer guy who finally grew a backbone, but jerk works too. I walked to the door and held it open. Time's up. Lila grabbed her suitcase and brushed past me, hesitating at the doorway. This isn't the end, she said sharply. You're right, I replied. It's just getting started. I watched her climb into the SUV I'd bought her for her birthday last year, key still in her hand. That wouldn't last. As her taillights faded down our quiet street, I headed back to the kitchen and poured myself a whiskey. Tomorrow, the next step will kick off. Tonight, though, I was savoring the quiet. The next morning, I was at Larson Builders by 6 a.m., same as always. Today, though, I had a plan. My foreman, Pete Daniels, the closest thing I've got to a best friend, was already there. A coffee and a bag of donuts from Rosie's in hand. You look rough, boss, he said. Feel rougher, I answered, taking a swig of coffee. Need a favor. Just say it, Pete replied. You still know that repo guy, Frankie? Frankie Torres, he said. What's the job? I pulled out my phone showing Lila's location on the tracking app. The kind involving a black Audi and a fancy silver Lexus. Pete's eyebrows shot up. What went down, Jack? I gave him the short version, her cheating, the videos, last night's showdown. Pete listened, his face darkening with every word. That heartless snake, he muttered. Careful, I said with a grim smile. That's my soon-to-be ex you're talking about. Ex is right, he said. What's the plan? Call Frankie, tell him I need 2 vehicles to vanish for a couple days. I'll pay his rate plus extra. If anyone asks, it's a repo mix-up. Happens when folks miss payments. Pete grinned. I like your style. We're just warming up, I said. By noon, both cars were gone. Lila's Audi and Tyler's Lexus. Poof, like they'd never been parked. I checked myself, driving by their spots. My phone rang at 12:47 p.m. Jack, where's my car? Lila's voice was laced with panic. What car? I asked, playing dumb. Don't mess with me. My Audi. It's not where I left it. That's odd, I said. Sure you parked it right. I left it at the motel last night and now it's gone. Maybe it got stolen. Call the cops. It wasn't stolen and you know it. I've been at work all day, I said. Ask Pete. He'll back me up. Damn it, Jack. Oh, by the way, Tyler called earlier. His car's missing too. Wild coincidence, huh? Silence hung for 10 seconds before she spoke. What do you want? Nothing, I said. Just worried about all this crime in our sleepy little town. Makes you wonder who you can trust. She hung up. I was still grinning when a text from an unknown number buzzed in. This is Tyler. We need to talk. I shot back. I'm all ears, but not over text. Meet me at Murphy's tonight, 8 storyyu. Murphy's was a gritty, working-class bar where guys like me went to unwind and desk jockeys went to feel edgy. It was also where Sally Carter slung the best burgers in town and kept tabs on everyone's dirt. I got there at 7:30, grabbing a spot at the bar with a clear view of the door. Sally slid a Coors my way without me asking. Heard you had some drama at home last night, she said. News spreads quickly around here, I replied. She leaned in, voice low. Also heard your wife's been running with some shady folks. Yeah? What kind? The kind who think silk ties and car payments make them hotshots, she said, straightening a pile of coasters. For what it's worth, I never liked her. Too high and mighty. You're not wrong, I said. Most wives who step out at least pick someone unattached. Lila went for the married ones. That hit me like a punch. Married ones. Tyler Kent's got a wife and 2 kids out in Boulder, Sally said. Sweet gal, teaches kindergarten. Bet she doesn't know her man's been messing around with half the career women in town. My gut twisted. Half of them? Sugar, your wife wasn't his first fling. Won't be his last either. The door swung open, and Tyler Kent strolled in like he owned the place. Tailored suit, slick hair, a smug grin that screamed he'd never done an honest day's work. That him? Sally asked. Yep, I said. Good luck, hun. Try not to wreck him in my bar. Blood's a pain to clean. Tyler spotted me and sauntered over, all swagger, thinking he had the upper hand. He was about to get schooled. Jack Larson, right? He said, sticking out his hand. I didn't take it. You wanted to talk, I said. Can we grab a table? This is kind of private. Nothing's private anymore, I said. Sit. He took the stool next to me, and I caught a whiff of his fancy cologne. Probably cost more than my weekly paycheck. Look, I know this is messy, he started. Messy? I took a pull of my beer. That's one way to put it. I didn't mean for it to get this bad. Lila said you two were on the rocks. What kind of rocks? She said you weren't close anymore, just strangers sharing a roof, and that made it okay to hook up. He squirmed. It's not that cut and dried. It's real simple, Tyler, I said, leaning back on my stool. You saw something shiny and grabbed it. It didn't matter that it was mine. Made it more thrilling, didn't it? His face flushed. That's not how it was. Then explain it to me, I pressed. Tell me how a guy with a wife and 2 kids justifies banging his coworker in hotels paid for with her husband's cash. Tyler's jaw tightened, his cheeks burning red. You don't know my life. I know plenty, I said, turning to face him square. I know your wife, Rachel, teaches 2nd grade at Pinewood Elementary. I know your kids are Liam and Sophie. I know you refinanced your house 6 months back to afford that Lexus that's currently sitting in my lot. His eyes widened. What? You took my car? Oh, did I skip that part? It got repossessed. Funny how quick that happens when a payment's missed. I haven't missed a damn payment, he snapped, his stool wobbling as he shot up. You'd be surprised, I said coolly. Car loans get transferred, and new lenders play by different rules. This is illegal. Nope. My company's branching out into asset recovery. All above board. I drained my beer and set the bottle down. But I'm a fair guy. I'll offer you a payment plan. What do you want? He growled. Easy, I said. Call Lila right now on speaker and end it. I already did, he said, but his eyes darted away. Really? 'Cause my sources say she's been blowing up your phone all day. Sounds like mixed signals. Fine, he muttered, pulling out his phone with shaky hands. I could see him scrambling for a way to stay in control. Speaker, I reminded him. He dialed Lila. It rang 3 times before her voice came through, frantic. Tyler, thank God. Where have you been? My car's gone, and Jack's lost it. Tyler glanced at me, then back at the phone. Lila, we gotta talk. Not over the phone, she said. Can you come get me? I'm stuck at this awful motel. That's why I'm calling, he said, hesitating. This whole thing's too messy. I'm done. Silence, then. What? Her voice spiked. You're dumping me? It was never supposed to be serious, he said, glancing at me again. You knew I wasn't leaving my family. You said you loved me, she shrieked. I made a keep-going gesture. We got carried away, Tyler said. This can't keep going. Carried away? Lila's voice was pure venom now. I left my husband for you. You left him because you wanted to, Tyler shot back. I never told you to do that. You spineless bastard. The line was cut off. Tyler slumped, defeated. Happy now? Getting there, I said, waving Sally over for another beer. Now, about your car. What about it? Payment plan, $5,000, cash. You get it back. $5,000, he sputtered. It's barely worth 12. Was worth 12, I corrected. 3 days in a lot does wonders for depreciation. Sun damage, bird droppings. Tough on those leather seats. This is extortion. This is business, I said. You broke something of mine, so you're paying to replace it. I never touched your stuff, he protested. My wife was mine, I said, voice steady. Maybe not on paper, but in every way that matters. You wrecked her, so you owe. Tyler stared like I'd started speaking Italian. You're nuts. Maybe, I said, standing and tossing a 20 on the bar. But I'm nuts with a clean credit score and your car title. You've got 48 hours. If you don't pay, Rachel's going to hear about your side gigs. Private investigators dig up some wild stuff when you give them a reason. I left him there, hands trembling as he stared at his phone. Outside, the October air hit me, sharp and fresh. For the first time in months, I could breathe. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. You'll pay for this. I typed back. Already have. Should have done it sooner. The next morning, I felt a spark of satisfaction I hadn't known in weeks. Lila's friend Mandy called at 7 a.m., her voice tight with worry. Jack, we need to talk. Do we? I said, sipping my coffee. It's about Lila. She's falling apart. I bet, I said. Look, I know you're pissed, Mandy said. Pissed? I chuckled. Mandy, pissed doesn't even scratch the surface. She screwed up, okay? But ruining her life won't fix you. Want to bet? I shot back. Silence. She's my best friend, Jack. Since college. Then you've known she was a liar since college, I said. That's not fair, she said. Fair. My voice hardened. You want to talk fair? Fair would have been you telling your best friend to fix her marriage instead of covering for her girls' nights that were really hotel hookups. I never... Save it, Mandy. I've got phone records. Guess whose number pops up before and after every one of Lila's little meetups? Another long pause. What do you want me to do? Nothing, I said. You've done plenty. I hung up and dialed Vince Russo, the private investigator I'd hired 2 weeks ago. Ex-cop, 20 years on the force. The kind of guy who could find dirt on a nun. Morning, Jack, Vince said. Got some juicy stuff for you. Lay it on me, I said. Your wife's boyfriend isn't just a cheater. He's a serial cheater. I've got proof of at least 3 other affairs in the past 2 years, all married women from his firm. Damn, I said. It gets better, or worse, depending on your angle, Vince said. His wife filed for separation 6 months ago. She knew about the affairs but stayed quiet for the kids. She's pushing for divorce now and hired me last month to track his moves for custody. I grinned. You've been playing both sides? Separate cases, same target, he said. Ethics kept me quiet, but now that your mess is out in the open, I can share what's relevant. What's that? The kind of dirt that paints Lila as just another notch on his belt, not his soulmate. Send it all, I said. The email from Vince was waiting in my inbox. I fired up my laptop and dug into his report. Photos, call logs, hotel receipts. Tyler Kent was a habitual cheater, and Lila was just his latest score. The real jackpot, though, was at the end. Financial records showing Tyler had been siphoning company funds to bankroll his flings. Small amounts over time, but it added up to embezzlement. My phone rang, an unknown number. Hello, this is Rachel Kent, a woman's voice said. Can we meet? Rachel was nothing like I'd pictured. Lila was all polished edges and calculated charm. But Rachel was warm, real, the kind of person who still believed in fairy tale endings. We met at a diner in Aurora, far enough from town to avoid prying eyes. I'm so sorry about what you're going through, she said, stirring cream into her coffee. This must be rough. I'm getting by, I said. How about you? Better than I thought, she admitted, glancing out at the parking lot. Finding out about Tyler's affairs crushed me, but knowing I'm not imagining things helps. How long did you suspect? I asked. 2 years, maybe more, she said. He started staying late, taking trips that didn't make sense. Classic signs. Why stick around? The kids, she said softly. I kept thinking I could fix it, you know? Be a better wife, more patient, and he'd stop. I felt a pang of recognition. I went through that too, I said, blaming myself, wondering what I screwed up day after day. Really? Her eyes met mine, surprised. I thought guys just got mad and did something about it. It took me a while, I admitted. First I blamed myself, then our situation, then finally the people who did this. Rachel gave a small smile, her first real one. How's that going for you? Beats therapy, I said. She laughed, a soft, bell-like sound. I get why Tyler was scared of you. He called you crazy, said you were stalking him. I call it thorough, I said. Is it true you had his car taken? Temporarily relocated, I corrected with a grin. That's genius, she said, eyes sparkling. You're not mad. Are you kidding? That car was his baby. He spent more time polishing it than talking to our kids. We sat in easy silence for a moment. Then Rachel leaned forward. I've got an idea, Jack. I'm all ears. I want to ruin him, she said, her voice steady. Not just divorce him. I want his job, his reputation, his whole smug persona gone. What's your plan? She slid a folder across the table. Financial records. Tyler's been skimming from his company for 2 years to pay for his affairs. Small amounts, but it's about $30,000. I let out a low whistle. That's felony level stuff. I know, she said. I've been tracking it, waiting for the right time. Why now? Because he crossed a line, she said, her voice hardening. He brought your wife to our daughter's soccer game last month, introduced her as a work friend. Sophie asked me later why Daddy's friend smelled like my perfume. Rage hit me like a freight train. That bastard, I growled. So, are you in for a partnership? I thought of Lila, probably holed up in some rundown motel, waiting for Tyler to swoop in. I thought of Tyler, probably already eyeing his next target. What do you need from me? Access to Lila's phone records, she said. If I can prove Tyler used company resources to set up their affair, it's corporate theft on top of embezzlement. Done, I said. One more thing. I want him to know we're teaming up. I want him to feel as powerless as he made me feel. I raised my coffee mug. To partnership. She clinked hers against it. To justice. That afternoon, I rolled into Larson Builders with a lightness I hadn't felt in ages. Pete was in the office updating work schedules. You look almost happy, boss, he said. Close enough, I replied. How's the car situation? Frankie's got him stashed at his lot, Pete said. Says the Audi's seats are already fading. October sun's brutal this year. Perfect, I said. Any word from our pals? Lila's been calling the office nonstop. I keep saying you're out on sites. Good. Let her simmer. What about Tyler? He swung by this morning, Pete said. Wanted to resolve this like adults. His words. I laughed. What did you tell him? That adults don't sleep with other guys' wives. How'd he take it? Not great. Started yapping about lawsuits and harassment. Empty noise, I said. He's got no leg to stand on. Maybe, Pete said, looking uneasy. But boss, this is getting loud. Maybe time to think about an exit plan. That's the goal, I said. I want everyone to know what they did. My phone buzzed. Rachel. It's done, she said. I sent Tyler's financial records to his HR department, along with logs of his personal calls on company time. How long till they move, I asked. My source in HR says there's a meeting tomorrow morning. They'll likely suspend him pending investigation. Source? My cousin works HR at a rival firm. Favors go both ways in this game. Rachel, you're a damn genius, I said. Not a genius, she replied. Motivated. After we hung up, Pete was staring, half impressed, half worried. What exactly are you cooking up, Jack? Some Old Testament-style justice? Something like that, I said. My phone buzzed again. A text from Lila. We need to talk. This has gone too far. I typed back. You're right. Should have gone this far months ago. Her reply was instant. Meet me tonight, 7 a.m. Murphy's. I'll be there, I sent. But first, I had one more stop. City Hall was shutting down when I pulled up, but I knew Clara Thompson, the records clerk, would still be there. Clara Thompson had been keeping tabs on our little corner of Colorado for 3 decades. Nothing happened around here without her catching wind of it. Jack Larson, good to see you, she said with a knowing smile. Heard you've got some trouble at home. Word spreads like wildfire, Clara, I said. In a town this small, your business is everybody's business. What can I help you with? Need to file some paperwork, I said. Property transfer stuff. She raised an eyebrow but pulled out the forms. Transferring to who? Just me, I said. Turns out when your wife cheats, the prenup gets really interesting. Smart guy, Clara said, stamping the papers with a bit too much gusto. Most folks don't bother with the fine print. Most folks don't marry a lawyer's daughter who demands airtight contracts, I replied. There you go, she said. As of today's close, the house on Cedar Avenue is all yours, Jack Larson. Thanks, Clara. No problem. And Jack, never cared for that wife of yours. Too uppity for her own good. I was starting to notice a trend in how folks saw Lila. Murphy's was packed when I rolled in at 7 p.m. The after-work crowd was a mix of roughneck builders, desk jockeys, and old-timers chasing cheap brews and cheaper rumors. Lila sat in a corner booth, looking smaller than I'd ever seen her. She'd dropped some weight in just a few days, and no amount of her usual flawless makeup could hide the bags under her eyes. For a split second, I almost felt bad. Almost. You look rough, I said, sliding into the seat across from her. Thanks, she muttered. You look smug. I'm feeling pretty good, I admitted. Jack, we gotta stop this. It's spiraling. Spiraling, I leaned back. As far as I can tell, it's just getting going. She leaned in, voice low. People are staring. At work, at the grocery store, everywhere. The whole town's buzzing. Good, I said. Maybe they'll learn something. You're ruining my life, she hissed. I'm just shining a light on it, I shot back. Big difference. Her hands shook as she grabbed her wine glass. What do you want? An apology? Fine, I'm sorry, I screwed up. Screwed up? I said, voice flat. Lila, you had videos, plural, with multiple guys. That's not a screw up. That's a lifestyle. You went through my private stuff, she said, eyes narrowing. Your private stuff was on our shared laptop, bought with our joint account, in our house. Nothing private about it except the lies you spun to cover it. Tears welled up. Quiet ones she kept swiping away. I never meant for this to happen, she said. Which part? I asked. Cheating or getting caught? The cheating, she said, staring into her wine. I never wanted to hurt you. Then why do it? She went quiet, her gaze fixed on the glass. I felt invisible, she said finally. Like we were just roommates going through the motions. You'd come home, we'd eat, watch TV, sleep, repeat. So you slept with other guys, I said. I wanted to feel wanted, she said, voice breaking. Like someone saw me as more than just a wife or a bank account. A bank account? I snorted. Lila, you earn double what I do. That's not what I meant, she said. I wanted to feel special again. Tyler made me feel special. Tyler made you feel like a trophy, I said. There's a difference. You don't know him like I do, she insisted. I let out a dry laugh. Actually, I know him better than you think. What's that supposed to mean? I know about Karen from finance, Michelle from PR, and Stacy from sales, I said. Her face went ashen. That's not... He said I was different. You were different, I said. You were married. Made it more fun for him. You're lying, she whispered. I pulled out my phone and showed her Vince's photos. Tyler with different women at different hotels over the past 2 years. Vince Russo's good at his job, I said. Ex-cop, 20 years digging up dirt. You'd be amazed what he can find. Lila stared at the screen, her face flashing from shock to pain to fury. That son of a bitch, she muttered. Now you're catching on, I said. He told me he loved me, she said, voice trembling. Said we'd be together. He told all of them that, I said. It's his playbook. She buried her face in her hands. God, what have I done? You tanked our marriage for a guy who saw you as another score, I said. Jack, I'm so sorry. I know I hurt you, but we can fix this. Counseling, whatever it takes. No, I said, voice like steel. We can't fix this. We're not fixing this. There's no going back. Why not? She pleaded. Because I don't love you anymore, I said. The words landed heavy, like a dropped hammer. She looked like I'd punched her. You don't mean that. I've never meant anything more, I said. I don't love you. I don't even like you. And I don't want to be married to you. That's harsh, she said, voice cracking. That's real, I said. If you'd tried being real sooner, we might not be here. She leaned back, and I saw the shift. The desperate wife melted away, replaced by the cold, corporate version of Lila I'd been stuck with for 2 years. Fine, she said, eyes narrowing. You want to play dirty? Let's play dirty. I want half of everything. The house, the business, your 401k, all of it. Read your prenup, I said. Prenups can be fought, she snapped. Not with video proof of you cheating, I said. Colorado's still a fault state, remember? I'll claim abuse, she said. Good luck, I replied. No police reports, no ER visits, no witnesses. I've got half the town vouching for me. I'll say you were emotionally abusive, she tried. Go for it, I said. I'm sure Mandy and Kara will back you up. Oh, wait, they're not picking up your calls anymore? Funny how fast friends bail when the drama gets too hot. Her cool facade cracked, just for a second. You turned them against me, Lila spat, her voice trembling with anger. Didn't need to, I said, leaning back in the booth. They turned on their own when they realized they'd been helping you cheat. They were your accomplices, not your friends. They were my friends, she insisted. They were your cover, I corrected. What did you tell them? Just the truth, that they helped you lie to me for months, propping up your affair while you torched our marriage. Truth's funny like that. Makes people rethink who they're loyal to. Lila shot up, her chair screeching against the floor. This isn't over, she said. You're right, I replied with a grin. Tomorrow's going to be a hell of a day. What's tomorrow? She demanded. Tyler gets canned. You get kicked out of that motel when your card gets declined, and I will roll out phase 3. What's phase 3? I smirked. You'll see. She snatched her purse and stormed toward the door, then spun back. I hate you. Good, I said. Makes us even. After she left, I nursed my beer, watching the room. 3 different folks came by to say they were sorry about my situation, and funny enough, that they'd never liked Lila. Small towns are like that. Everyone's got an opinion, but they keep it zipped until the scandal breaks. Then they all claim they saw it coming. My phone buzzed with a text from Rachel Kent. It's done. Tyler was escorted out of his office an hour ago. Accounts frozen pending investigation. I texted back, perfect. Phase 3 kicks off tomorrow. What's phase 3? Public shaming, I replied. Love it, she sent. Next morning, I woke up in my own bed for the first time in a week. No Lila, no tension, no tiptoeing. Just quiet and coffee brewed exactly how I like it. My phone showed 17 missed calls, 15 from Lila, 2 from unknown numbers, probably Tyler. I deleted them all without a listen. Instead, I called Frankie Torres. Frankie, it's Jack Larson. Time to return those cars, both of them. Both? He asked. Yep, but I want them dropped somewhere public, where everyone will see. Where? Tyler's office building, right out front, lunch hour. You got it, he said. What shape should they be in? Same as you found them, sun damage and all. This'll be a show, he chuckled. Next, I dialed Clara Thompson at City Hall. Clara, it's Jack. Need you to post a public notice. What kind? Foreclosure proceedings, the house on Pinewood. Though Tyler Kent owned that place, she said. He did, I replied, till the bank called the loan early due to changes in employment status. Can they do that when he's embezzling from his company? Sure can. Well, damn, she said. This town's getting spicy. Just warming up, I said. By noon, both cars were parked in front of Tyler's old office, drawing a gawking crowd. The Audi's leather was cracked from the sun, and the Lexus's paint looked like it had been bombed by a flock of pissed-off pigeons. I swung by to see it myself. Tyler stood in the lot, staring at his wrecked Lexus like it was a dead pet. A security guard was with him, probably telling him to get off company property. My phone rang. You bastard, Tyler growled, barely holding it together. You trashed my car. I returned it, I said. What you do with it now is your problem. It's ruined. A few days in the open will do that, I said. Maybe get a garage next time. This is harassment. These are consequences, I shot back. You broke something of mine, so I broke something of yours. Call it even. Even, he snapped. I never touched your stuff. You broke my marriage, my trust, my faith in people, I said. We're nowhere near even. Silence. What do you want? He asked finally. Nothing now, I said. You already gave me what I needed. What's that mean? You showed me who Lila really is, and who you are. Public service, really. This isn't over, he said. Keep saying that, I replied, but it looks pretty done from here. I hung up and headed to the bank where Lila and I had our joint accounts. Time for phase 3 to really kick in. Linda Carter, the branch manager, had handled our accounts for 5 years. She greeted me with that pitying smile people say for guys fresh out of a divorce. Jack, I heard about everything. I'm so sorry. Thanks, Linda, I said. Need to make some changes to the accounts. What kind? Close the joint ones and move everything to a new account, just in my name. I'll need both signatures for that, she said. Actually, you won't. I handed her the restraining order. This gives me full control of marital assets during the divorce. She scanned the document. Looks in order. I'll need to check with the law, but it should be fine. How long? A few hours, she said. I'll call you this afternoon. By 3 p.m., it was done. Joint accounts closed. Money moved to accounts in my name only. Lila's credit cards were cut off, her access to our safe deposit box revoked, and her name scrubbed from our insurance. My phone lit up right away. Jack, what the hell did you do? Lila's voice was pure panic. My cards aren't working. Close the accounts, I said. You can't. I can. Restraining order gives me temporary control. I need money. I'm stuck at this motel with no way to pay. Sounds like your problem, I said. This is illegal. It's legal, I replied. Ask your lawyer. Oh, wait. You don't have one anymore. I'll get a new one, she snapped. Good luck paying for it, I said. The line went dead. 20 minutes later, my phone rang again. Unknown number. This is attorney Melissa Grant, representing Lila Larson, a woman said. You need to restore her access to the marital accounts immediately. Sorry, who's this? I asked. Melissa Grant, Mrs. Larson's attorney. Huh? I said. Because the State Bar Association says Melissa Grant does personal injury, not divorce. Also, your website lists a $5,000 retainer. Where'd my broke, jobless wife get $5,000? Silence. I'll be in touch, she said, and hung up. Lila was scrambling. Good. My phone pinged with a text from Rachel Kent. Heard about the bank accounts. Savage move. Tyler's been blowing up my phone, begging me to stop whatever I'm doing. I shot back. What did you tell him? That he should have thought about the fallout before becoming a professional cheater. How are the kids holding up? Better than I expected, she replied. They're relieved, honestly. Tired of tiptoeing around their dad. Court hearing? Next week. The judge gave me emergency custody. Tyler gets supervised visits only. Nice, I texted. That evening, I headed to Murphy's for a burger and a beer. The place was buzzing, and I felt eyes on me as I walked in. Sally slid a Coors my way without a word. You're practically a rock star around here, she said. Good or bad, I asked. Depends who's talking. Most folks think you've got balls taking on your wife and her boyfriend at the same time. Most folks? Lila's mom called here looking for you. Says you're ruining her daughter's life. Her daughter ruined her own life, I said. I'm just making sure everyone knows it. That's what I told her, Sally said with a grin. A guy I didn't know approached the bar. Mid-50s, slick suit, the kind of fake grin you'd see on a city councilman or a used car lot. Jack Larson, right? He said. Depends who's asking, I replied. Victor Hammond, representing Tyler Kent. The bar went quiet, like someone turned down the jukebox. I don't talk to lawyers without mine present, I said. This isn't legal, he said. It's personal. Everything's legal when lawyers get involved, I shot back. My client wants to make you an offer. I'm listening. $25,000 to stop this harassment campaign. I laughed, loud enough for the whole bar to hear. That's it? 25 grand? It's generous, he said, considering you've got no legal claim against my client. Your client blew up my marriage, I said. That's all the claim I need. My client had a consensual relationship with your wife. Your marriage is already broken. Your client had a consensual fling with my wife while married to someone else, I said. That makes him a cheater, not a victim. The offer's on the table, he said. $25,000 and you cut all contact with my client. Counteroffer, I said. Tyler publicly apologizes to me, my wife and his wife for being a lowlife. Then I'll think about not posting those surveillance videos online. Hammond's face was drained of color. What videos? The ones showing Tyler and Lila checking in and out of hotels for 6 months? I said. Private investigators do wonders when you pay them right. That's illegal surveillance, he stammered. Nope. Private investigator, public places, no expectation of privacy. All legal. You're bluffing, he said. I pulled out my phone and showed him a still of Tyler and Lila at a Marriott. Want the full reel? Hammond's jaw tightened as he stared at the screen. What do you want? Justice, I said. Be specific. Your client wrecked my marriage. I want him to feel the same humiliation and betrayal he dished out. That's not happening, he said, standing. Then we're done here, I said. He walked out and the bar buzzed with whispers. I'd just become the town's favorite soap opera. My phone rang as I finished my burger. Jack, it's Rachel, she said. Heard about the lawyer visit. Small towns, I said. Listen, it's time for the final phase. What's that? Saturday's the Fall Festival, the biggest event of the year. Everyone will be there. And I think it's time for Tyler and Lila to make a public appearance together. They'd never agree to that, I said. They will if they think it's their idea, she said. Leave it to me. Just be at the festival, main stage, 2 p.m. Rachel, what are you cooking up? Justice, she said. Public, crushing, can't look away justice. I'm in, I said. Saturday morning was crisp and sunny, perfect for the annual fall festival. I'd been going since I was a kid, back when it was just farmers hawking apples and squash. Now it was a full-on carnival, food trucks, live bands, and enough gossip to last till spring. I got there early, setting up a booth for Larson Builders. Good for business, plus it gave me an excuse to stick around. By noon, the place was hopping. Families with kids, teens on dates, old folks arguing over who grew the best carrots. Everyone kept sneaking glances at me, like I was some kind of local legend. At 1:30, I spotted them, Lila and Tyler, strolling through the main gate hand in hand, like they were walking into a prom. Lila wore a dress I didn't recognize, probably bought with money she didn't have. Tyler was in his usual overpriced, casual getup, the kind that cost more than most folks' rent. They were trying too hard to look happy, overplaying it to hide the past week's stress. The crowd stared, not friendly looks, but the kind you give a train wreck or a reality show disaster. My phone buzzed with a text from Rachel. Phase 1 done. They took the bait. What bait? I replied. Told Tyler a public appearance with Lila would show the town he's not ashamed, that it'd fix his rep. And he bought that? Desperate people believe what they want, she texted. At 2 sharp, the festival organizer, a chipper lady named Doris who'd run the event for 20 years, took the main stage. Ladies and gentlemen, time for our annual community awards, she called out. I had no clue what was coming, but I trusted Rachel. This year we're doing something different, honoring folks who've shown exceptional openness in their personal lives. The crowd murmured, confused. Our first honorees are Tyler Kent and Lila Larson for their outstanding commitment to transparency and honesty. The crowd went dead silent. Tyler and Lila froze, looking like deer caught in a spotlight. Come on up, you two. Doris's voice was so chipper, so everyday, that Tyler and Lila started walking toward the stage before they even realized what was happening. Now these two have been real open about their relationship, haven't they? Doris said. Tyler, why don't you tell folks how long you and Lila have been an item? Tyler grabbed the mic, hands trembling. This isn't the place for that, he stammered. Oh, sure it is, Doris said, all smiles. The whole town's been whispering about you two for months. No need to be shy. Lila tried to tug Tyler away from the mic, but Doris wasn't having it. Lila, sweetie, you must be thrilled snagging such a prize. I mean, stealing a man from his wife and kids. That's some real talent. The crowd started catching on. Some shifted uncomfortably, others smirked. And Tyler, Doris went on, you must be proud as hell. Wrecking 2 marriages at once? Gotta be some kind of record. Enough, Tyler snapped, trying to hand back the mic. Oh, we're just warming up, Doris said. I've got some special guests who want to say a word about your little love story. Rachel Kent stepped onto the stage, her 2 kids in tow, a boy around 10 and a girl about 8. Hi, everyone, Rachel said, voice steady. I'm Rachel Kent, Tyler's wife. Well, soon-to-be ex-wife. The crowd went silent as a graveyard. I want to thank Lila for helping me see what kind of man I married. For 2 years, I wondered what I did wrong, why he stopped showing up for dinner, why he missed our kids' school plays. Tyler looked like he might puke. But Lila showed me it wasn't my fault, Rachel continued. My husband's just a selfish, lying cheater who can't keep a promise to save his life. Mommy, the little girl piped up, her voice clear through the mic. Is this the lady who made Daddy leave? Yes, honey, Rachel said. This is the lady. The crowd stirred, restless. Someone yelled, Get off the stage! I couldn't tell if they meant Rachel or Lila. Oh, one more thing, Rachel said, pulling out a tablet and hooking it to the festival's sound system. This is a recording of Tyler calling his boss 3 days ago, trying to pin his embezzlement on me. Tyler's voice boomed across the grounds. I know it looks bad, but Rachel had access to the accounts too. She's been unhinged since she found out about Lila. Wouldn't put it past her to frame me. The crowd gasped. And my personal favorite, Rachel said, unfazed. Here's Tyler telling his lawyer how to dodge child support. Another clip played. If I claim disability, I can cut the payments to nothing. Who's going to check if I can work? Rachel's too busy playing victim. The crowd was pissed now, their murmurs turning to shouts. One last one, Rachel said, holding up the tablet. This is Tyler explaining to Lila why he couldn't leave me. His voice again. Babe, you gotta get it. Rachel's got half my assets. If I leave her now, I'm screwed. But if she divorces me and looks like the crazy one, I keep the house, the kids, everything. Lila's face went ghost white. You said you were leaving her for me, she yelled. I am, Tyler stuttered. That's out of context. What context makes that okay? Lila screamed. Ladies and gentlemen, Rachel said into the mic, I give you Tyler Kent and Lila Larson. Proof some folks deserve each other. The crowd exploded, not with cheers but with angry shouts. A tomato splattered against Tyler's shirt, thrown from somewhere in the crowd. Someone else hollered, Homewrecker, at Lila. Tyler grabbed her hand, trying to pull her off the stage, but she jerked away. Don't touch me, you lying sack of crap. Lila, please, we can talk. Talk about what? How did you play me? How you were never leaving your wife? The crowd pressed closer, and security started looking twitchy. Let's wrap this up, Doris said, reaching for the mic. But Lila wasn't done. You want to know the kicker? She shouted at Tyler. You ruined my marriage for nothing. I gave up everything for a guy who was never going to pick me. Lila, stop. No, you stop, she fired back. Stop lying, stop scheming, stop pretending you're anything but a fraud. She turned to the crowd. And the worst part? My husband warned me this would happen. He told me you were using me, but I was too dumb to listen. Every eye in the crowd swung to me, like I was under a spotlight. Jack Larson is twice the man you'll ever be, Lila said, glaring at Tyler, and I threw him away for this. She waved at Tyler with pure disgust. Lila, you're upset, Tyler said. Let's go somewhere quiet. I'm never going anywhere with you again, she snapped, jumping off the stage and shoving through the crowd. Tyler tried to follow, but a group of guys blocked him. You've done enough for one day, one said. Tyler glanced at the angry faces around him, then bolted for the parking lot. The crowd buzzed, everyone talking over each other. Rachel was packing up her tablet, her kids glued to her sides. I walked over. "That was incredible," I said. "That was needed," she replied. "My kids had to see their dad for what he is." "How are they doing?" "Better than I thought," she said. "Kids bounce back." I glanced at the crowd, still reeling from the show. "You just gave this town gossip to chew on till next year's festival." "Good," she said. "Maybe other women will think twice before messing with married guys." My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "This isn't over." I showed it to Rachel. "Tyler," she guessed. "Probably," I said. "He's not taking rejection well." "What's he gonna do?" she said. "His rep's trashed, his job's gone, his wife's divorcing him, and his girlfriend just humiliated him in front of everyone." "Desperate people do desperate things," I said. "Then we'd better be ready," she replied. That evening I was at home, calling the day a win, when the doorbell rang. Through the peephole, I saw Lila on my porch, still in that festival dress. I opened the door but didn't let her in. "What do you want, Lila?" "To say I'm sorry," she said, her voice small. "For what? The cheating, the lies, or the public meltdown?" "All of it," she said, looking like she'd been run over by life. "Jack, I messed up badly. You were right about Tyler, about everything." "I know," I said. "He never loved me," she said, tears welling. "He was just playing with me." "I know that too," I said. "I wrecked our marriage for nothing." "You wrecked it because you chose to," I said. "Tyler was just the excuse." She started crying harder. "Can we try again? Can we fix this?" "No," I said flat out. "Why not?" "Because I don't want to. I don't trust you. I don't love you anymore." "But we were good once," she pleaded. "Once," I said. "That woman's gone. So's the guy who loved her." "Jack, please. I know I hurt you, but people screw up." "Screw up?" I said. "You made choices, over and over, for months on purpose." "I can change," she said. "I don't want you to change," I said. "I want you out of my life." "Where am I supposed to go?" she said, voice breaking. "I lost my job. I can't pay for the motel. My friends ghosted me." "Figure it out," I said. "You're a smart woman. You'll manage." "That's it? After 7 years, you're just done with me?" "I'm not done with you," I said. "You were done with yourself. I'm just not cleaning up your mess anymore." She stood there, tears streaming, then turned to her rental car, her Audi still a wreck, and drove off. I went inside, poured a whiskey, and sat in the quiet. Tomorrow I'd start the divorce papers. Tonight I was soaking in the peace. My phone rang. "Jack, it's Rachel," she said. "You holding up okay?" "Better than I thought," I said. "Lila came by to apologize." "How'd that go?" "About as well as you'd expect," I said. "What about you? Any word from Tyler?" "Nothing," she said. "His lawyer says he's getting counseling for anger issues. Probably trying to look pitiful for the custody hearing." "Won't work," I said. "You've got too much dirt." "Jack, you ever feel bad about tearing him down so hard?" I paused. "Nope. You?" "Not a bit," she said. "Just checking I'm not turning into a monster," I said. "You're not," she said. "You're just a guy who stopped letting people stomp on him." "Sounds almost normal when you say it like that," I said. "It is normal," she said. "We spent years covering for people who didn't deserve it. Now we're free." After we hung up, I wandered through my house, mine now, all mine, and tried to recall what it felt like when Lila and I were happy. The memories were there, but they belonged to someone else, some other life. I was okay with that. 6 weeks later, the divorce was finalized on a quiet Tuesday morning. No drama, no last-ditch pleas, just signatures and done. Lila had moved to her parents' place in Oregon, according to Clara Thompson, who got it from her cousin at the post office. Apparently, Lila was working at a property management firm and seeing some divorced tax guy. Good for her. Tyler had vanished. His house was in foreclosure. Rachel had full custody of the kids, and word was he was slinging used cars somewhere in Arizona. Also good. I was clearing out the garage when I found a box of old wedding photos, 7 years of birthdays, trips, holidays, all proof of a life we'd built and burned down. For a second, I thought about keeping them, not for nostalgia, but as a reminder of how easy it is to misjudge someone. Instead, I tossed them in the dumpster. A knock came at the door as I hauled the box out. Rachel stood there, holding a bottle of wine and grinning. "Thought you might want to celebrate," she said. "Celebrate what?" "Freedom, justice, fresh starts," she said. "I can drink that," I said. We sat on my back porch, sipping wine as the sun dipped behind the Rockies. Rachel's kids were at her mom's for the weekend, and for the first time in forever, she looked at ease. Any regrets? She asked. About the divorce? None, I said. About how we handled it? You mean the public shaming, the financial takedown, the total shredding of their reputations? Exactly, she said, laughing. I thought for a second. No regrets, I said. They made their calls. We made ours. Some folks think we went overboard, she said. Some think we didn't go far enough, I said. Sally Carter told me yesterday she'd have slashed Tyler's tires herself if she'd known what he was up to. Sally's on to something, Rachel said. Cheating used to be a public disgrace. Maybe it should be again. Think it'll make people think twice, I asked. Maybe, she said. Or maybe some folks are just hell-bent on learning the hard way. We sat in easy silence, watching the mountains glow purple in the fading light. Jack, she said. Yeah? Thanks. For what? For showing me I didn't have to be a doormat. You figured that out yourself, I said. I just cheered you on. Is that what we're calling it? She said, smirking. What would you call it? Partnership, she said. The kind where everyone wins, except the ones who deserve to lose. I raised my glass. To partnership, justice, and new beginnings. We clinked glasses as the last light slipped away. Later, alone in my house, I thought back on the past few months. The discovery, the confrontations, the calculated dismantling of two lives that had crashed into mine. Some might call it revenge. Others might say justice. I called it consequences. For 7 years, I'd been married to a stranger. For 6 months, that stranger lived a secret life at my expense. For 3 days, I made sure everyone involved faced the fallout of their choices. The games were over. The marriage was done. The masks were off.